All right, guys. The attendance was 17,783, sold out. The gate was 7.5 million, the biggest gate in the arena's history. We now hold number 1, number 2, number 5, and number 6 highest gates here at the arena. We broke the record, which was our record, from the last time we were here. Fight of the night, no-brainer. The Van fight, Jim Miller and Yaroslav, they all won the bonuses.
Dana, first of all, well, King Green is going to be very mad at you that he didn't get a bonus. He was shouting at you.
Who?
Bobby Green.
Yeah.
He's going to be very mad.
Well, we talked about it, when you looked at the opponents and who they fought. But Bobby Green is going to get his own, he's been wanting his own shorts, so he's getting them. We're making sure he gets his own shorts.
Okay, cool. Let's look at that main event. A back and forth main event, very interesting. Lots of tactical decisions by both men. How did you...
And just for the record, Bobby's not wrong. I mean, Bobby fights anybody, anytime. Stevens was 4 pounds over. He didn't give a shit. He still fought. And all the credit in the world to Bobby Green.
Okay. We'll look at that main event. How did you view the main event? What did you think of both men's performances? And how did you score the main event?
King Green. Sorry. So I scored the main event. I had it 2-2 going into the last round. Okay. I thought Strickland won the last round.
Okay. Were you surprised that Hamzat stayed on the feet for so long portions of the fight?
No. What was interesting is, when I first started, the first 2 times I saw him fight on Fight Island, he used to talk about his stand-up in his team all the time. And I was saying, we haven't seen him stand up and really go toe-to-toe with somebody in a while. But I think, I think he had a rough weight cut. And
is that what you attribute? In the second round, right, he went for a couple of takedowns and looked like he just sort of collapsed on himself. Is that what you attribute that to, maybe the weight cut? And were you impressed with the fact he was able to get himself back into the fight after looking so gassed?
Yeah, listen, he's a tough guy. He's a fucking savage. So I would expect him not to roll over and quit.
Sean Strickland now has wins over Hamzat Chimaev and Israel Adesanya at middleweight, and I think it's kind of wild, right? You look at his style, he's got a quirky style, but he has wins over some of the best in this division's history. Where do you view Sean Strickland at in that division, and how impressed are you that he's been able to beat guys like Hamzat?
Yeah, I mean, you're asking me that because it's incredible. He looks great. He's got an awkward style. He's tough to fight, and another durable, tough guy that has no quitting him.
How did you score the Alexander Volkov-Waldo Costa fight earlier?
Yeah, I actually thought that Waldo won the fight, but I talked to Sean and Mick. They both thought it was scored the right way. The first round was, close.
A couple outside about the White House press conference we enjoyed the other day. When Josh Hockett is screaming at Alex Pereira and Ilia Topuria, and then Alex Pereira stands up, what exactly goes through your mind?
I don't want any of these guys getting hurt over stupid shit that means nothing with guys that are never going to fight each other. You know what I mean? It's not like Ilia Topuria and Hockett are going to end up fighting. So it was just, I think that whole thing is goofy anyway. But, the guy went out and performed. Unranked guy went in and beat the number 5 guy in the world. So.
You've obviously done a lot of media for the White House this week, and we've had press conferences and stuff. How excited are you for that card, and how much are you feeling the buzz now that you've been out and done the media and we started talking about it?
It's going to be the biggest fight we've ever done. I mean, the numbers tonight were monstrous. The White House fight will blow this out of the water.
I'm not asking you to shit talk them, but obviously next week Ronda Rousey is fighting Gina Carano on Netflix. They are billing that as the biggest MMA fight of all time. Do you believe the White House event will probably eclipse those numbers, or is...
I love Ronda and Gina. I hope they do well.
Dan, right here.
Yep.
What did you make of? I know you gave fight of the night, but just Joshua Van's performance overall seems kind of like a promoter's dream. Like young fighter, has wicked fights, just seems to want to fight all the time. Just kind of what do you make of his kind of emergence as this?
Yeah, and the fact that after the first fight, I mean, when you win the belt because the guy breaks his elbow, he showed up and delivered tonight, man. He looked incredible, and what a war.
I assume it's safe to say Pantoja is next for him. They both seem to want to fight each other.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the Sean Brady weird betting lines that were happening?
Yeah. Are you shitting me? Yes, of course I've been hearing about it all afternoon. This card had a lot of heat on it, and I told you, this thing pulled massive numbers tonight on Paramount. So it's not surprising when a card this good and a fight like that, for the line to move.
And then a little bit of a very sad note. I don't think anyone was aware, but Grant Dawson was back here and informed us that his wife and him were trying for a kid, and they lost it on Monday of fight week. I'm curious if anyone from the promotion had heard about that, and it seems pretty like he ignored it, but it clearly affected him at the end of the fight.
Yeah. Did you know about that? Yeah. No, none of us knew.
And then just last one for me. You said that you were pretty confident Conor would return this summer.
Yeah.
He had been tweeting a lot about his contract situation and everything over the last several months. Is anything new with Conor's contract, or is it still like this?
There is no deal done with Conor. I was just saying I'm confident. I was confident last year too, but I'm way more confident this year. Yeah.
Did you anticipate that Sean and Hamzat would be so kind to each other after the fight?
No, I was ready for the exact opposite.
And I mean, in a normal situation, like split decision, undefeated champion, it seems like everything would be set up for a rematch given their history and everything. But it seemed like Hamzat really struggled to make the weight this time, and he literally walked up to me after the fight and said, "I want to move up. Yeah, I don't want to fight in this weight class anymore." Interesting. And I know it's very soon, but do you feel like he probably needs a fight to earn the title shot there and stuff like that? Carlos is injured.
Yeah,
Have you thought about that division?
I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that. Yeah. But him moving up's exciting.
And the other bonus went to Yaroslav Amosov, and he was a former Bellator champion. A lot of those guys have had some struggles coming over here, but he's been unreal. 30-1. Is he kind of in line for a big push here and maybe another big opportunity?
Well, winning tonight and getting a bonus was definitely a step in the right direction.
And back to the thing with Hogan at the White House press conference. I know you don't want anything to happen, especially that fight week. Do you have to think about how that press conference is going to be during fight week? Like, can you have him and Ilya and Alex up there again?
No, I mean, Ilya and Alex are pretty chill guys normally. Ilya flips out every now and then, but we'll just be, didn't see that coming. They're all sitting next to each other in the same row, and O'Malley scoots back, and I'm just like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. Because all I was worried about was the next, the weigh-ins, and not anything happening there. But we'll be ready for it. I mean, this is the business we're in.
And as far as what could be next for Sean,
and then he got in a fight with Costa tonight too, I think. Yeah.
As far as what could be next for Sean, Nasruddin Imavov obviously wanted this opportunity tonight. He was cage side. That's a rematch. They fought before. Would that kind of make sense?
I don't know. I don't know if you ever heard this before, but I don't make fights the night of the fight.
And can you answer one question for the internet? People want to know who the young man was up on the stage with the face-offs yesterday.
I have no idea. He was some kid from the crowd that was screaming my name.
And you just invited him up?
Yeah. Okay. I love doing stuff like that for little kids. He said, "Today's the greatest day of my life."
Yeah, I think he started an Instagram saying he's going to be the next heavyweight champion.
He said?
Yeah, I think he started an Instagram page posting all those photos and saying he's going to be your heavyweight champion.
That's awesome. No, he's got the personality, that's for sure. But I don't know him, and I just met him yesterday.
Dana, you said this week that you're going to promote Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua.
Yep.
Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren have both came out and said that contractually that's not the case. Can you comment on that?
Interesting.
They've said in the contract there's no mention of TKO or Zuffa.
Fascinating.
So are you going to be the promoter of that?
I don't know. Let's see what happens. Do I ever say shit that really isn't true? That doesn't happen? That was a question.
I don't think you do, but Eddie Hearn has obviously come out, and Frank Warren, and both shut it down and said that the fight won't happen.
Then it must not be true.
Another one from me, just Ryan Garcia against Conor Ben's being spoke about.
Who?
Ryan Garcia versus Conor Ben.
Yeah.
Is that something that we're going to see? Obviously, then you'd have to work with Oscar De La Hoya to make that fight.
We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you had a brief back and forth with Hamzat where he said he wants to move up. Did you guys say anything else? Can you tell us anything about the interaction between you and him after the fight?
No, that was it. He just said, I don't want to fight at this weight again. I want to move up.
Yeah. What's your reaction to that? I mean, the guy did fight at welterweight and then having a hard time making it at middleweight. Do you think that he applied himself, or you think he just naturally, like, you like that idea of him moving up?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know. He ever since Fight Island, he's gone on a run. He's undefeated, won the world title, did everything that he said he would do. But with the level of success and lifestyle, makes it tough.
And I guess maybe that's an answer to this next question, but you obviously were drawn to him so much. That's part of what set him on this path, and then everyone knows the health issues and inactivity. Do you feel like he has lived up to what you first saw at Fight Island? Obviously, he's been a champion.
When you see somebody fight for the first time and you're like, wow, this guy's special, and they become a world champion in the UFC, yeah, I would say so.
So yeah, you're satisfied with what he's done. Not that he's done, but you would say that he reached his potential so far here.
100%. Yeah.
And the last question I have is about the White House, and that you mentioned when you're talking about success and the numbers and everything. How do you even project? How do you even try to gauge something like this? Are you able to say that we have a prediction on this?
Yeah, it's no different than how we knew how we would do on pay-per-views. We knew tonight was going to be a big night on Paramount Plus. And it was massive, and the White House fight will blow this out of the water.
And you're able to do that just with like press.
What the fuck is going on in that? What's that?
It's just such a unique thing that I was just curious if.
What's unique?
Well, the White House itself.
Oh,
like how do you estimate and predict something like this of a one-on-one? But you feel like just projections and numbers,
This
just like
is
yours.
the biggest event we've ever done by far. As far as the amount of people that will watch this show. Not even close. The biggest.
Dan, over here.
Yeah.
You're talking about, like, you like to do things for kids and that kind of thing. I saw you just like a couple hours ago, 1 hour or two ago, you plucked a little boy out of the crowd and let him out there. What was the story behind that? How'd this kind of come
I just
about?
met him too.
You just kind of saw this kid and you're like, you want to come?
Yeah. I said, you have a phone? He said, yeah. So I brought him with me. I mean, when you're kids, that's the easy shit. It's easy to do. And, you can get those type of experiences at the UFC as a kid. I love doing that for kids.
Sure. And speaking of kids, obviously you had Jim Miller goes out, picks up a big win in his home state. Obviously, a lot of emotions going through with his family and what his son had experienced over the last year. How much had you been kind of familiar with his situation? And
I wasn't till tonight.
Yeah,
till tonight. And tonight was the last fight on his contract. And we just signed him to 5 more fights.
5 more fights?
Yeah. That'll put him over. If he fights all 5, if he fights 4, it's 50 fights in the UFC. If he fights the last one, it's 51. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, I know he's trying to go for 50, and he likes that as like a round number. So what happens with that kind of last one? He just kind of hangs there?
I just threw it in there. I said, Sean goes, let's sign him to a 4-fight deal. I said, let's sign him to a 5-fight deal. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Hello, Dana. Here. I'm going to make a couple of questions in Spanish. Fabiano will translate. Se habla mucho en la UFC de las rivalidades, pero hemos visto que en los últimos tiempos Alex Pereira y Ilia Topuria han entrenado juntos, han estado juntos, y en la conferencia de prensa de la Casa Blanca vimos cómo Ilia Topuria entró a defender a Alex Pereira. ¿Crees que se puede estar forjando una de esas hermandades grandes que pasen a la historia, que trasciendan las fronteras, como pudimos ver en su momento entre Chimaev y Darren Till?
We know that a lot of talk about rivalries in this sport, but we just saw a friendship being forged between Alex Pereira and Ilia Topuria lately, with all the stuff that they did with the White House. And yesterday, in the press conference, you saw Ilia Topuria kind of defend Alex Pereira. Do you think that after so much time of the history of this sport, so many rivalries, do you think we'll be going to an era of these super friendships in which people just kind of stick together, just like we saw with Hamzat and Darren Till, for example?
Yeah, I think that once guys get in here, there are obviously friendships that are forged and and rivalries. I mean, it happens both ways. I don't really understand your question, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of.
La otra pregunta es acerca del UFC en España. Hoy peleaba Joel Álvarez, no ha tenido su mejor noche, pero es un talento especial. Tenemos a Ilia Topuria, que es doble campeón de la UFC, y otros talentos también firmados por la UFC. ¿Podrías darnos una fecha exacta o aproximada al menos de cuándo podrá llegar la UFC a España? No sé si en 2027.
And much has been talked about UFC in Spain. Obviously, Joel Alvarez didn't have one of his best nights, but we have Ilia Topuria, a double champion, and there's a lot of new Spanish from Spain talent in the UFC. Can you comment on a possible date, something that has been in the works, possibly next year, when UFC Spain could happen?
Yeah, we literally have no dates set for Spain, but you know I want to go, and if you're going to go, you go with a guy like Ilia. So the answer is yes, we want to. No, we have nothing planned yet.
And last for me, hemos visto cómo Arman Sarukian hablaba contigo después del combate estelar dentro del octágono, y ahora también va a ser el peleador backup, el peleador de refuerzo por si se lesiona Ilia Topuria o Justin Gaethje. Quería saber si Arman Sarukian ya ha adoptado esa posición de contendiente oficial después de todos los incidentes, ¿no?, que todos conocemos que tuvo en el pasado.
We saw Arman Sarukian speak to you before the main event directly, and we know that he's going to be the backup for Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. He's basically considered to be a contender given everything that happened in the past. Is that where he sits right now as the official contender?
Yeah, I mean, he was always a contender. I mean, he was supposed to fight for the title. Yes, he's a contender.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Just right here, sir. Buddy the Buddy and BSD are teasing a fight for International Fight Week. Can you give us confirmation? Because it can be a huge fight for European fans.
Did we announce that?
No, they are teasing it. Like BSD said that he are waiting for the signature of Paddy. So everybody waits for officialization in France.
Well, if we didn't announce it, then then it's either not done or it's not happening.
Thanks.
All right.
Dana,
Yeah.
coming up on 10-year anniversary of 205 at MSG, you've had fights at Barclays Center, at UBS in the area, but Prudential Center here in Newark, New Jersey appears to have emerged as the secondary venue you guys do in the area. How has that happened, and how has the UFC's history here, going back nearly 20 years, influenced your desire to want to be at Prudential Center?
Yeah, no, the Prew's been great to us, and you know, we sold out and broke the record last week in Perth. Then we came back in here and broke our record again at the Prew, and we will be back to MSG. And yes, MSG and Newark are the two spots that I'm going to keep hitting out here, in this area. I hope I answered your question.
Just out of curiosity, how has the history going back to 2007, how has that influenced your desire to be here as opposed to other places?
Apparently we're in the wrong room. The history here is number 1, number 2, number 5, and number 6. Highest gate here. We kill it in this arena. The fans are always great here. The arena's been good to us. The city's been good to us. The state's been good to us. That's the history.
Hayden, right here.
Yep.
So we have right now several French fighters in great position in the UFC. Obviously, Cyril Gane, who's going to fight on the White House card. Benoit Saint-Denis, Nasruddin Imavov, Manon Fiorot. You guys already confirmed you coming for the 5th time in September in Paris. Is there any chance this time is going to be a numbered event with maybe a title fight on the line?
It's a good question, and you're not wrong. That's an incredibly smoking hot market for us. It's possible.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
John Harwood here from Tunnel Vision Network. Jim Miller is still finishing fights, fighting over several generations of UFC here.
Is he having one of the most underrated careers in the UFC?
history.
Yeah, I don't know if it's underrated. I don't know if it's underrated. I don't know what you call it. I mean, the guy's special. At his age, it's still. I think he was a 3-1 dog tonight, and he wins in the first round by submission. You know, that's why when we were looking at the, you know, the performances of the night, it's hard not to give it to Jim. I don't know if I'd call it underrated. I don't know. He's special, and what he's doing is pretty amazing.
Speaking of just overall performances tonight had several different tough performances. Which fighter forced you to kind of, you know, change your plans the most as far as the cards moving forward in division?
Which guy made me change my plans on what?
As far as division moving forward, like there were a lot of crazy performances tonight. Which performance shocked you the most, essentially?
I don't know if anybody really shocked me tonight. I mean, even the main event. You know, I was talking to Chris Weidman, and Chris Weidman is like, man, everybody's sleeping on Strickland. Strickland's, you know, his wrestling's not terrible and blah, 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 you know. So I never thought that he was a 4-1 dog anyway. So I wouldn't say that anything shocked me. I would say impressed. The Van fight was incredible. I mean, what a war back and forth, and but nobody's fight tonight made me change my plans or shook up anything in any of the divisions. But the Van looked incredible tonight.
Dana, over here. There was an issue yesterday. Like a lot of people online were talking about the Hamzat's weigh-in in particular. Like they were a bit concerned that perhaps he didn't quite get the 185 on the button. Could you explain to us, like, first off, have you seen that?
You know, the New Jersey State Athletic Commission oversees the weigh-ins, right? And Jeremy Stevens missed by 4 pounds, right? And they had to, you know, cut a deal. But for Hamzat, they just going to not let him make weight. Jersey and New York are 2 of the toughest commissions in the country. The internet's fucking stupid. I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than that.
What is the thinking? I know this maybe is a question for the commission, but I'm just wondering, what's the thinking behind having the manual scale instead of the electric scale?
Why not use the manual scale? Why not use the electric scale instead of the manual scale?
I don't know. Listen, Monday morning at 9:02, call the New Jersey Athletic Commission and ask them that. That's I have nothing to do with any of that stuff.
Another thing I wanted to ask about was of course, you know, Conor McGregor, you're talking about being confident that he's going to come back, right? And I know that with the new Paramount deal, the structure of things does change. He's talked about how his contract was super heavily based on pay-per-view. Who's this? McGregor.
Oh, McGregor.
So he's one of these guys who could do 1 million pay-per-views fighting nobody, and then he's done 2 plus 4 million against Floyd. How do you structure a deal with someone like that under this new Paramount, because it's completely different to any other UFC fighter?
There's a formula to it. McGregor's going to do just fine.
What's the formula?
Huh?
What's the formula?
Based on, if you take the average of his pay-per-view buys and what they do, there's an equation for that you can. I mean, we've done it with a lot more guys than just McGregor.
Right, but I guess the concern would be that, like, Jones isn't fighting, and that seems to be financial. Rousey is going and fighting somewhere else, and then Conor, we're still waiting on the deal on that one. It seems like the people who were like going to be making huge money on pay-per-view back when that was the thing, it seems like the deals aren't necessarily getting done so far.
Yeah, don't believe everything you hear.
Another one was
most of the stuff is bullshit about all the numbers and things like that.
Another economic kind of question was to do with this Conor Benn thing, right? So he signs for Zuf on the 1-fight deal, and it's 15, or the word is 8 figures. That's what people say. Right, so he does this 1 fight against Regis Prograis on an undercard. Does that mean that, like what are the economics of, like, when he fights Ryan Garcia? That's a considerably bigger fight. Does he get another 20 million for that one? And, like, how does the sort of the structure work for his multiple fight deal after that?
I don't know. Talk to him. Ask him what his deal is.
You're his promoter.
But it's I don't give out anybody's numbers ever. Conor, Ben, Conor McGregor. And anybody else here, if Conor Benn wants to talk about his contract and how much he's making, then talk to him about it.
Last thing, I just wanted to ask, so Eddie Hearn did come out yesterday. I called him, asked about it a little bit, but his comment, I just wanted to read his quote exactly. And again, this is Eddie's words, not mine. But he said, such a clout chaser, not a chance that you'll be promoting Fury and AJ. contractually impossible. Let me know when you find your balls. Is what these are his words, not mine.
I'm a cloud chaser. This Fruit Loop came out and said he's the fucking biggest fight in boxing. While he has Bam Rodriguez and AJ and all these other fighters and all the other guys that are out there, he's the biggest fight in boxing. Those were his words. You know what a fucking Fruit Loop you got to be to fucking say it? Nobody even knew who this guy was 4 months ago. And now he's the biggest fight in boxing. Yeah.
Also, are you involved in this?
I hope I answered your question.
Are you involved in this Johnny Manziel and Bob Menery fight?
I am not involved in that fight. They're doing it at the Apex, though. They rented out the Apex for that fight.
How will you and Oscar go, or Oscar De La Hoya on stage at the press conference go if you have to work together?
How did what?
How will you and Oscar De La Hoya work together? Like, how will it go on stage if you have to stand on the stage with him at the dais? That'll be a bit weird, right?
Who does he got that we'd have to
Garcia.
work with? Yeah, we'll see. There are a lot of rumors floating around in the boxing world. Like I said, at the end of this year, look at the body of work that we do and look at how this all plays out, and then maybe you guys will stop asking me all these questions.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Hey Dana, Travis Hayden of WFUV Sports, Fordham University. With all the chaos in this fight week, it might have been tough to realize, but today is the 6-year anniversary of UFC 249, another chaotic fight week for you and putting it on during the first show during the pandemic. What lessons did you learn in putting on that show that you're still applying to the business today?
What, the pandemic?
The UFC 249 show, the one in Jacksonville. Today was the 6-year anniversary.
Yeah, the pandemic taught me that nothing is impossible. We can do anything.
All right, that is awesome to hear. And so far we could see that. We've seen it with the Sphere and the White House. Another thing that happened in the pandemic was this huge boom in the flyweight division between Figueiredo and Moreno. And since then, it has evolved so much since then, where those guys have moved up, and now you have guys like Van and Tyra. And Van is looking to be one of probably the biggest star in flyweight in recent history. And I just want you to speak about the growth of the flyweight division a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, when we go into matchmaking, we start looking at each division. The matchmaking team has done a fantastic job in working on some of the divisions that, we felt were weak, or trying to figure out how to make some of them more exciting, how to inject more talent into these weight classes. And they've done a fantastic job.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Dana over here. There is a lot of expectation on the main events for the UFC 329 and UFC 330. Is there a specific date to make the announcements for that?
A lot of expectation for UFC 329 and UFC 330. Is there any announcement you can make about those two cards?
No, ma'am. If we did, we would have made them. Thank you. We done?
Mr. White,
yes.
I'm a reporter from Tokyo Broadcasting System. Although Tatsuro Taira lost the fight, could you share your thoughts on the possibility of the UFC holding events in Japan in the near future?
Any possibility of UFC holding events in Japan, because we had such an incredible fight with a Japanese fighter headline?
Well, if tonight went differently, it would have absolutely positively happened. I'm excited to have an event in Japan again. I know the staff is too. But had he won the title tonight, we would definitely be looking at a fight in Japan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Josh, from here. Congratulations on the victory and the first title defense. I guess just physically, emotionally, how you feeling after your first successful title defense?
I feel great, man. I feel great. I think that was a great fight for the fans. But the only thing is that I told you guys I was going to finish him inside 3 rounds. And, Tatsuro is a tough guy, man. Nothing but respect to him.
Did you think you were close to getting him out of there in the first 3 rounds? It looked like you were pretty putting it on him, especially in the early round.
I think the first time I dropped him, I woke him back up. And then the second time, I don't know how he got up. But like I said, man, he's tough. And I was trying to submit him, but, he's good, man. He's good.
Obviously, especially in the countdown and immediate day, he said, he would have the advantage on the ground. You obviously survived his grappling in there. So was it did he excel in that, or was he as strong as that as you expected, or do you have a lot of tricks in there that maybe you had to work on the fly?
Like I said, man, I told you guys, I got ground in my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I want to do, but you know what I mean, that I can't do. But you know what I mean. We show our ground a little bit here and there, but next time we get better for sure.
Were you surprised that he didn't go down earlier? Because I think it was especially in the second and third round, he wasn't moving his head at all. You just kept blasting him in the nose, and he kept coming forward.
Yeah, man. One thing about him is that he know how to go back, or and things like that. So it was a little harder for me to find my timings and my distance because he was keep going backward and things like that. So yeah, that's what kind of saved him.
Did his leg kicks play any factor at all? It seemed like he was throwing that a lot in the early rounds.
Nah, the last one he threw, that shit hurt. But other than that, man, the first 2 rounds, it wasn't a hard one. But the last one, I think he landed. I think he hit my nerve or something. Yeah.
I was listening to one of your interviews over there, or Pantoja's interview, and Dana White confirms that he's probably next for you. Pantoja seems to want to make this a 5-round. Wants to drag it 5 rounds to make it painful for you. And I think I heard your response was he better go drink some milk. Is that correct?
Yes. He better go get some milk, man.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Just right here. How this win feels comparatively at the one against Pantoja? Because of the way you finished the fight, does it feel better, or for you a win is a win, a belt is a belt?
Yeah, man, a win is a win, but this one is so much sweeter. Just because the Pantoja fight, man, nobody, I would want to wish on my worst enemy. You know what I mean? So this is so much sweeter for sure.
But you felt bad after Pantoja win with the criticize of the fans?
Yeah, man, I feel bad. I told him, I walk up to him, because when I was celebrating, I didn't know his arm was like that, and after I saw his arm on the screen, I walk up to him, I say sorry, he said sorry, this and that, and then next thing you know, he waited 3 months, and then he came and do a little interviews. His panocha hurt, so he's saying a lot of shit now, so I don't know what's up with him, man. I saw him yesterday. There's no hate for me. You know what I mean? I talked to him. I shake his hand, but I don't know what he got in his head, man.
Last one for me. Can we see you one day in bantamweight division? I know it's early for you. You got still to do in flyweight, but is it one of your goals to go up one day?
Yes and no, because I wanna accomplish more in my division. A lot of people, when they win the belt, they just want to go up and things like that, but I want to make history because a lot of people don't know flyweight like that, you know what I mean? Now we're just popping up, so I want to do great thing in flyweight division.
Do you want to break the records of Mighty Mouse?
Record is record, man. I think, that was old time. Now it's the new generation of fighting, so I think it's a little different now, yeah.
Congrats.
Josh, how important was it for you to stay behind your jab, stay patient, and then eventually find that finish in the 5th round after going for the submission attempts in the 3rd?
Man, patience was the key, man. All my coaches, even the training camp, man. See, my fight got moved. I was irritated. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to hurt people or something, you know, man. And my coaches, they telling me to stop hurting my training partners and things like that, you know. The whole camp, man, they was telling me, be patient, you know, stay calm and this and that, and that's what you guys see.
I know earlier in the year you were going back and forth on Twitter with Manel Cobb and calling for him on the Houston card that happened earlier this year. In the future, could you see yourself headlining a Houston pay-per-view?
For sure. That's the goal, right? Houston is what raised me. You know, I was born in Myanmar, but, you know, Houston raised me, so I do want to I do see Houston as my own city, so I do want to headline in Houston.
And building off that, what message do you have to your fans from Houston as you sent a message in your walk-off to your fans in Myanmar? What message do you have to them?
Man, like I said, man, the world will know of us, you know, the people of Myanmar. And Houston, Texas, man, we got a UFC champion now.
713, baby.
Let's go.
Josh, right over here. You dropped him a bunch of times throughout the fight. Were you surprised that he was able to keep getting back up and even was able to take you down after that?
Yeah, he's tough, man. He's tough. Like I said, nothing but respect to the kid.
We've seen champions slow down before with activity, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case for you. When do you think we can see you back in the octagon next?
I don't know. I got to talk to my team, you know, see what's up. And like I said, maybe heal up a little bit and things like that. So at least one more by the end of this year.
Do you feel like this fight, and Tyra specifically, might have brought out the best version of Joshua Van we've seen so far?
Yeah, I always, like, I don't look at, like, a certain fight as like a bigger fight or things like that, you know what I mean? The fight that I have in front of me is always going to be the biggest fight for me, so this is the biggest fight.
Before the fight, we talked about how you said, like, the hate and the fans in your comment section and whatever. You like the hate because it kind of kept your name relevant. What do you think the fans are going to say about this fight?
I think they're loving it, man. I think they're loving it. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Sir. Josh, over here. So we were talking before the fight about, you know, you guys combined for 50 years old. It was the youngest championship fight
Yeah.
in 25 years. I asked you if you thought that maybe you guys would be fighting again down the road someday because you guys are so young. Now that you've actually been in the cage with him, do you feel like he has what it takes to kind of be able to fight back up the mountain and give you a rematch or get a rematch with you?
For sure. Tatsuro is a well-rounded guy, and he got nothing but respect from me, man. He's a tough kid.
Now, you got a fight of the night bonus on this one. You must have heard that right now, right?
Yeah. I heard
Yeah.
it.
So and so obviously this is coming off of a fight of the year last year. Amazing fight that you had with Brandon Royval. Do you see kind of your ticket maybe to getting a higher profile as just being that action fighter, the guy who just brings home the bonuses?
Yeah, man. All my fight, you ain't never see a boring Joshua Van fight. You know what I mean? So now that I get to fight on like the higher level, right? Coleman and things like that. So now a lot more people get to see me now. So it's a blessing.
You're kind of a laid-back guy, you know. It seems like you almost like to just kind of chill most of the time. But like when you're up here, you getting more comfortable with these media interactions?
Yeah, for sure, man. It get a lot easier, for sure. Yes.
Thank you.
Joshua, you have won all your fights against Japanese fighters in the UFC. What do you think it will take for a Japanese fighter to become champion?
What would Japanese fighter just train hard, man. I think just train hard. Yeah, the two fighters that I fought, the Japanese guys, man, they got heart. So I think the main thing is just to train hard. Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Van, after the fight, one of the first things you spoke about was your faith and how important that is to you. You know, how does your spirituality keep you centered, you know, as opportunities and just success continues to grow?
Man, my faith is everything. You know, without Jesus Christ, man, I won't be nothing. You know what I mean? So it's always to give glory to Him, and you know, like I said, my faith is everything.
How has your faith, you know, changed the way you define success outside of the octagon as well?
My faith, it kept me humble in a way, you know. Like I said, I'm not the perfect Christians or, you know, I'm not the perfect believer, but it always lead me back to him, you know, to Christ. So it helped me in a lot of way, for sure.
Joshua, right here. I think tonight showed you were exactly as well-rounded as you've been saying all week that you are. Your improvements being like incredible to watch. I guess how much higher is the ceiling for you? How much further do you think you can go as far as evolving your skill set?
Man, I'm definitely gonna get better from this fight. You know, there's a lot of things that I gotta improve on. So, man, you guys will see, a lot better Joshua Van soon.
Yeah, and you had that hilarious interview with Demetrius Johnson where he was trying to kind of teach you about the history of this division.
Yeah.
Are you ready to, I guess, make your own history here with a long title reign?
Yeah, that's what I'm here to do, write my own history.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
You all doubted me. That's all right, I doubted myself. Not you, Oscar. You're one of the OGs. Appreciate you, bro. My face is as bad as it feels.
Looks a little rough, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I broke my nose. I gotta go get stitches after this on my lip. What the fuck, monster? I was so stoked to drink this.
Yeah, the fridge is empty anyway. So Sean, congratulations on the win. As you said, many people doubting you. You said you doubted yourself. Talk to us about the fight, your performance, and frankly, how happy you are to get the victory.
Oh, man. You know, all fights, I love fighting, you know, but, like, yeah, it was good. It was good. I had a good time. It was fun. I talk a lot of shit, so when you talk a lot of shit and you lose, it hurts way more. So,
well, I was going to ask that. Look, you did talk a lot of shit, but
yeah, I did talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, and you apologized for it too afterwards, which was very big of you. But you talked a lot. Does that apply pressure to you when you're warming up in the back? Do you start thinking like, man, like I really painted myself in a corner here? Not just because you spoke some shit, but the level of shit you spoke.
I don't give a fuck, man. You know, it's like I sell fights. I mean, look at the UFC, how fucking boring it is. Like, really, like, the UFC is so fucking boring. Like, I didn't even know half the, like, other than Alex, and Alex doesn't even talk. He's just big and scary. You know, I mean, that guy just knocks everybody out. But, like, other than Alex, like, it's just fucking boring, dude.
This might be a bit of a weird question, but because, you know, look, you went through 5 rounds together and stuff like that, were you kind of happy that Hamzat was willing to squash the beef with you too?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, you guys, I go fucking so hard, everybody. And there's always truth to what I say, and there's always, you know, there's always truth to what I say. But at the end of the day, man, all the hate and all the hate's out of me. I need the hate battery recharged, so I need a couple of days. But funny story, you guys want to hear something funny? Please. So on Tuesday, I'm sparring Johnny, that motherfucker, the PFL champ. And I'm at Polino's gym, Cruz's gym, and he fucking shoots on me, and I hit his brick-ass wall, and I separated my shoulder. So I had a grade 1 AC joint separation on Tuesday, and I remember laying in bed on Tuesday night. I'm sure Chris has a video of me slamming the fucking shoulder, dude. Get some better pads. And I'm laying there. I can't lay on my left side. I'm like, you're such a fucking idiot. You are such a fucking idiot. So in the back, I'd normally like to get better warm-ups, but I didn't want to warm up and throw my shoulder out. The entire time, like, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. But I'm assuming next time you're still going to spar and fight.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just going to fucking find a cage, goddamn Cruz, that brick-ass wall of a gym you have.
You said that you were going to be the one guy who could beat this guy, that when he grappled with you, you'd keep him moving and he would get tired. In the second round, it looked like he had a complete dump and he sort of fell forward. You stuffed him very well. Were you surprised about how he got back into the fight?
No, I mean, again, he's a fucking savage, you guys. I was hitting him with shots. Like, I mean, look how swollen my hand's swollen. Like, he would just fucking eat it and come forward. Like, the guy was a savage, and he was willing to fucking die for what he wanted. You know, he's a fucking savage.
Yeah. How do you rank this one to the Izzy win, right? Like, I mean, both of
guys,
them.
I don't give a fuck, dude. You know, at the end of the day, man, like, sometimes I'm bleeding all over everything. I don't give a fuck, dude. It's like, it's a fucking belt. It means jack all fucking nothing, dude. You know, it's like, and this is like the problem with the world that we live in. Like, you guys are always just chasing titles that men make, you know? Like, men will give you a title like, oh, I'm a CEO, I'm a CFO. Like, dude, no one gives a fuck, bro. It's a title. It's not real, you know? And I've been saying it. The biggest superpower in life is gratitude, right? When I first got to Vegas, when I was like 28, after my motorcycle accident, and I got blood everywhere. And I had my $1,200 apartment that I would go take you guys on tours under my crib, you know, and I'd go like flush the toilet. Bro, I was stoked though. I was stoked, man. I had a fucking mattress. I had fast cable, you know. It was real nice. Got my first house. I'm fucking stoked, dude. I'm stoked. Got my second house. I'm stoked. Whenever you have gratitude, it's amazing. If I would have lost this fight, I would have went home. The sun would have risen. I would have had a good breakfast. I would have seen my wife. And I would be like, man, I'm the luckiest fucking man alive. And once you have that, it don't matter.
Love that. Two more quick ones from me outside of tonight. Nasruddin Imavov already tweeting he's going to put your lights out.
My God, fucking Nasruddin. You're gonna really get me on this like fucking racism again, Hans. Are you fucking trying, you gay-ass pirate?
Let's try and avoid the racism.
No, I mean, I can avoid the racism, you guys. Come on, dude. Fuck.
Well, speaking of actually your trash talk, I'd like to know who you think you are in saying that Josh Hockett's going too far.
Oh, God. No, dude. Josh, thank you, bro. I'm bleeding. No, dude. Like, bro, Josh, you've already, like, you're a savage, dog. You went out and fucking died, dude. You don't got to be the Mexican Jedi anymore, you know? But, you know, man, fucking hell yeah, dude. You know, you're on the White House card. You're making money. People talk about you. When I first started this sport, we all wanted to be George St. Pierre. I mean, even Conor McGregor. Like, when Conor first started, well, guys, I don't party, I don't drink, all I do is train. Meanwhile, fucking Conor McGregor's fucking hookers, doing cocaine, like, nothing like that. And at some point, you realize, dude, it's way easier just to be your fucking self. When I first started, you know, I was like, you know, guys, listen, I got long hair. I was never racist. Like, I didn't exist. I'm a real nice guy. Look at me, long hair. I wear a suit. And at some point, you're just like, you know, man, I don't give a fuck. Judge me, hate me. Life is. So, I mean, with Josh, you keep stacking your W's, bro. You could be whoever the fuck you want to be.
Congratulations.
Sean, right here. The judges all had it scored the same 2-2 going into the fifth round. Did you feel like that was the decider? Like, did it feel that
Let me
close?
tell you, Chimaev, I know we fought, and I don't want to say anything negative because, you know, the hate battery is gone. But you motherfucker, all right? Did you see in the fifth round what he did to me? He pointed in the mat. He pointed. He said, he said something, let's give the people what he wants. Let's have the man dance or some shit. And I was like, okay. Like, I trust you, the guy that just kicked me in the balls yesterday. Like, I trust you, Chimaev. You seem like a real trustworthy guy. I like your smile. We shook hands. I believe you. So I put my hands up, and he fucking shoots on me. So I remember thinking he had me against a cage. And I was like, dude, if you lose this fucking fight because you are a dumb fucking cunt and trusted this man, like, I am going to fucking go commit suicide. You are a fucking stupid motherfucker, Sean. Literally, he had me against cage. And I was telling myself, you are a stupid motherfucker. You are a stupid motherfucker. But yeah, I was so salty, dude. And then I even said, like, what the fuck? And he laughed. I mean, that's not cool, dude. That's not cool. No, you can't tell a man you're gonna do the man dance and then shoot a double leg. That's not right. There's fucking ethics and codes.
Well, no, you felt out very strongly that he missed weight for the fight. Dana White said anyone who believes that, is an idiot when he was just in here. But
Okay, did you guys, show of hands, who thinks he missed weight? That fucking scalp, ding, 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 ding. He 1,000% missed weight. We had a guy from my camp was watching him get on the check scale. When he stepped on, his whole camp said, fuck. And they dragged him up because he was running out of time. He 1,000% missed weight. I don't bitch about it, though. I was like, whatever, be a heavyweight. I don't care. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, I heard he said he might want to move up to 205. He should, dude. Like, if that weight cut's killing you, go to fucking 205. Enjoy life. It's way easier competition.
yeah, Dana said that's the first thing he said to him in the cage, that he's moving up for his next fight. So
Yeah, because he missed fucking weight. I know I should get 20%. What the fuck, dude?
Well, do you feel like there's some lost money there in like a rematch?
Do I get a bonus? Do we get a bonus after that award? No bonus?
I went to Komen for fight of the night.
What the fuck, dude? Honestly, fuck it. That little Japanese. Does a Japanese kid get it? Yeah, fuck it, dude. Give the bonus. Yeah. I don't want the bonus, Japanese man. You take it. You earned that, you little fucking savage.
Yeah. Well, I guess since he's leaving the division, a rematch with the split decision would have made sense. But is it Nasruddin? Like, is that the fight that?
I truly believe in UFC rankings. I think they fucking matter, and I hate when guys jump them. So if that's who the UFC, if that's the rankings, that's who it is. Let's go.
What were you and Joe Rogan talking about before the decision was read?
I don't know, dude. Fucking the UFOs, man. APAC. I don't fucking know, dog. Like, how he did Theo dirty, Who fucking knows?
Yeah, just right there. You just shocked the world. Congratulations. My question was also about Nasruddin, but if you want to do this fight, UFC Paris can be a good date. Dana just said it can be for a title and number events. So if you want to come.
I love the French folks. I don't consider Nasruddin French. I don't know if he even considers himself French. He might live there, but he ain't fucking French. He ain't French. He don't believe in French. He doesn't stand by French people. But I am never leaving this fucking country again. I ain't going on vacation. I will never fight outside America again. I am a fucking American, and I will fucking die in this country. But that being said, to all the French people, you guys are great, man. And yeah, je suis, something like that. I was gonna flee the country one day, so I learned a little bit of French.
Fair enough, and congrats.
Sean, just one quick here. I know you guys squashed the beef, but did you expect Hamzat to actually wrap the belt around you?
Man, there is something, and like you guys can't, unless you've experienced it, you just don't know what it's like. When you go and fight another man and like, bro, your soul is just exposed. When you're fucking bleeding and he's bleeding and like, I want to quit, he wants to quit, we don't want to be there. Like, you just have this level of respect for one another that it like transcends race, religion, like nationality, country. It's just, it's something that you just don't know. After, like, you kind of become someone's brother after you and him try to die, win or lose,
And so I guess that was after the fight, but even the broadcast was pretty shocked that you guys like touched gloves during the instructions. So why do that?
Like Chimaev said, I made him the most money he's ever made on a fight. You're welcome, Chimaev.
Yeah, I don't know how deeply you want to get into this, but I would really like to know, like, when you said you're selling the fight, and do you feel like you and Hamzat worked together to manufacture something here, or was there?
No. At the moment, the guy kicked me in the balls. The fuck, dude. I don't like to be threatened. Like, and maybe it's just like who he is as a person, but like when he was in the gym, he was really threatening, right? Like he just had that threatening demeanor. And maybe it's like the little man inside me, but when you threaten me, I just like, I want to fucking murder you. I want to kill you. So like, and maybe he didn't take it that way. Maybe it's just his like Chechen sense of humor, but like always in the gym, he would like, always kind of like punk me, where I was like, well, let's go spar. And we would never spar. So like, I mean, maybe, dude, I could have manufactured the whole situation in my head, you guys, to be honest. There's times when you're mentally not well, like you'll have interactions with people and like sometimes like your brain thinks something else happened. Where like you got to sit back and you wait, and you got to start like come to the problem. It's why I like training, and I train so much because like there'll be times where I'm like leaking blood everywhere. I don't want to blow my nose, but there'll be times where like I'll have an interaction with somebody, and like bro, it's like my brain hallucinates the entire interaction. So there's a chance that I just hallucinated that entire interaction, which I might have.
Last thing for me is I would just like to know how much was the nose bothering you actually in the fight?
Oh, I mean, it's a little broken, but I don't give a fuck. You know, what bothered me is that Cut Man was like shoving things up my nose. I'm like, dude, it's good. It's just blood, dog. I think he really wanted me to win. Thanks, dude. But it's just blood, dude. Like he was like putting like Vaseline. Like I can't breathe. Just let it bleed. But yeah, no, it's all good, dude.
Sean, this is the second time now you've been a massive underdog in a title fight and won. Do you kind of thrive off that motivation?
I mean, dude, I was like, my last fight was the underdog.
You thrive off that motivation of being the underdog?
Let me tell you, I'm an underdog in the bets. I'm an underdog in my head. I'm an underdog in life. It's just like, I don't even think about it. If I was ever a fucking favorite, it'd be weird, you know? Huh.
There were USA chants and Let's Go Strickland chants flooding the arena throughout the fight. Does that like motivate you?
You know, I love it. I love it. Like I even posted on my my store before or my gram before I fought. When I'm at a fight, right, and like everybody looks at me like Sean, the racist white national, like that's kind of like what the media paints me as. But when I'm at a press conference, like I mean, again, that's what the media paints me as. Sean the Nazi, like you know, SS, like motherfucker. I was my initials. Go fuck yourself. But you know, so I'm painted this way. But when I'm at a press conference, when I'm looking at my fans, you think I see a bunch of fucking towhead, little fucking blonde hair, white kids? No, dude, I see Mexican, black people. You know, you see Christians, like Muslims. Maybe not so much Muslims this fight, but generally, you know, I have a lot of Muslim friends. But I see like so many non-white people looking back at me, and I'm like, it's crazy because like. I'm representing these guys, and I love it. And what I love about UFC in America, there is no you're white, I'm black, you're brown. Like, there's none of that. It's like, we are fucking Americans. You're my guy. Like, I want you to win for us. And the level of unity that I see, especially with the UFC and American, like, greatest country in the world. And, like, you know, unity is like... I mean, these politicians, you know, left, right, fucking probably all they try to do is like divide. And like, what motherfuckers don't realize that there is no left, right. It's you either have money or you fucking don't. You either have money, you fucking don't. And it's like, it's just really great to look at in the audience and just see like, man, like I'm representing the fucking Americans, and I love it, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah, just to back up that point, I had friends of all races texting me that they were very happy that you won tonight. So
yeah, I know. Again, it's and honestly, it means a lot to me because I do have a really colorful past. I mean, I've been kicked out of school for hate crime. Like, I got a real colorful past. So like, as I move forward and like you know, I get accepted by all Americans. I'm like, fuck yeah, you guys. I always say that. You know, I've always been the bad guy who wanted to be a good guy. And I've always wanted to be the good guy, but, you know, teachers, courts, you're always told you're a fucking piece of shit. You are a bad guy. Like I said, my 7th grade teacher, Miss fucking Wajda, or 8th grade teacher. Sean, they build prisons for people like you. So eventually you're like, dude, I'm just a bad guy. I'm a piece of shit. But like through fighting, man, you guys know, I go to a gas station, some guy shakes my hand and like says, hell yeah, you're Sean Strickland. Like through fighting, I've really discovered self-worth. And I've never had that, and I would never have had that if it wasn't for fighters. But yeah, all right, let's stop being fucking bunch of faggots here, guys.
Sorry, Sean. Might make you try to get a little sentimental here too, but you did walk in here saying that you got into the sport wanting to be like George St. Pierre, and he was cage side tonight watching you have this fight. Like, does a moment like that, as Sean the fighter, mean something to have this moment in front of the guy who got you into the sport?
Cocking up blood. I think I broke my nose. No, like George St. Pierre is a fucking legend. And you want to talk about someone who has like low self-esteem. I mean, every fight, that guy never wanted to fight. I mean, I heard stories of him wanting like not to like an earthquake to happen to the fight, and he would go in there and sack up and be one of the greatest fighters in the world. George St. Pierre is a legend. I remember my first fight in my first fight in Houston, I told him, my first fight ever in the UFC, I told him, I was like, man, like, I'm such a fan, like, blah, 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 you know, me being a little fucking fanboy. And he said to me, well, hey, Sean, now I'm watching you fight. And that was fucking my first fight in the UFC. He told me, Sean, now I'm watching you fight. And yeah, it's awesome, you know. But that being said, he was the icon. We all wanted to be George St. Pierre. We all wanted the fucking Nike money. We all wanted the sweatshop money. But in the day, dude, like, I'm not George St. Pierre. I'm a white trash motherfucker, dude, and I say a lot of off-color shit, and let's go, Monster. That's good. All right, guys. Hey, anyways, man, I appreciate you guys. Let the hate battery recharge. I'll give you some better interviews later.